Hello and welcome to JagaVision episode 119. I am your host, Jared Nyberg. I'm co-owner of JagaSilk. We got a really fun show, as you can probably already tell, in the works. Apologies though for, oh my goodness gracious, it was like, 35 minutes of just a tech nightmare to get this show going today, but appreciate your patience if you're watching. We're gonna be talking about. It's actually part 2 today of a 2-part series that Pedro from O5T is joining me for. We also have Sherri Anne from Sister Speak who's joining us. And if you go back in time, 118 episodes before this one, lots of great conversations, lots of good teas, lots of stuff to learn. You go onto our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/JagaSilk. You can check stuff out. At any rate, with no further ado, I will see if we can't get Sherri Anne on the line to join us, as I think all my guests are here. Sherri Anne, are you there? Oh, hello?
Hello.
Okay, awesome. Welcome. Okay, great. So we have Sherri Anne joining us from Sister Speak, and of course you've just come off of a big long tour. Hey, you went to Germany twice in the space of like a week. You went there and back and there again. Didn't that happen?
They were at least about 3.5 weeks apart.
At least 3.5 weeks apart. Okay, but that was still that's pretty.
That's a lot of travel.
That's a lot of travel. There's a seat for you, sir.
Thank you.
But you were supporting your new album, which is pretty awesome, and I think I've seen some pretty amazing performances. You actually did a fully sold out show here at JagaSilk that was really exciting, and I don't think I've had you join JagaVision in a little bit. We've been like sailboats in the night. Hey, but I'm glad you're here today.
Yeah, likewise.
Awesome. And then I also have Pedro Vijalon.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Vijalon.
Your Spanish is perfect.
Okay, of O5T. So those watching, if you haven't been to O5, you need to go to O5. It's in Vancouver. It's in the Kits area. Does an amazing job sourcing beautiful teas from China, Japan, Korea, really random places like Georgia. Yeah, and Vietnam. And he has a little bit too much fun going to Origin. This is like your 50th time on the show? 76?
It's more or less, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's
getting close to 80.
Yeah, getting close to 80. So regular guest on JagaVision as well, and I consider him a dear friend. If you go to o5t.com, you want to go in and check out what Pedro brings to the table. Also, I don't know if any of those watching know this, but this grinder behind me, this is our matcha mill that we mill our matcha on, and Pedro and we bought one at the same time. So if you want to get some fresh milled matcha in Vancouver, you go to O5T as well, and you can get something pretty dynamite, and it's got some great connections.
We trade tencha every now and then.
We do some tencha trading, where sometimes we'll mill some of O5's tencha, and O5 will mill some JagaSilk. And we have some fun.
We drink some tea every now and then.
You know, speaking of though, I should have. Sorry.
Yeah.
I should have had this.
What are you milling?
On the outset, but where did I put that?
Looking for the best brew, or?
I'm just drinking kombucha, JagaSilk kombucha, as we
Of course.
prepare to make tea. What's that?
Of course, extra fermented in Vernon. Nice.
This one's really good. It's Jin Luo Dayu Zong by Lee.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They put some expensive leaves in that guy.
Well, you know what? Speaking of expensive leaves, we actually did a collab project with what is it? Dr. Midnight over at
Of course.
over at Cloudwalker.
Dr. Midnight. I know.
I love this.
It's a thing.
It is. You know, so Eric from Cloudwalker Tea is just one of the most eccentric individuals I think I've ever met.
Yeah.
And
Is that his new name?
Well, apparently he said my tea name is Dr. Midnight, he says, and I'm like, I don't even know what a tea name is, but that is the most fitting description. Like, isn't it the best?
Doctor. It works. I know it's describing, yeah.
So this cold brew was done as a collab with Dr. Midnight.
Perfect.
Right? And what we did is I haven't been able to make cold brew pu'er successfully.
Okay.
when I try it, it's always like a lot of the crimson teas that I try to do this process with, like especially the more darkly, like deeper oxidations. It just hasn't worked. And so just to give you a sense, Sherri Anne, what happened in part one of this kind of experiment that I've been doing with this batch brew tea, is I would love you to take. Did you have a little gaiwan?
I don't have a gaiwan. I don't see it.
Do you have a jar or something you can brew your tea in? What are you
Yes,
gonna brew
I
in?
do. I have this.
Do you have something you can brew in so you can use that as a decanter?
Oh, yes, I can go get one.
Okay, so if you can get, then I'll walk you through what we did last week, so that people can understand a little bit better what we're drinking today, and then we're also gonna, I think we're gonna have some fun and try some of your roasted tea too.
We can do that. Some
Yeah.
roasted
Cool, I'll be
tea.
right back.
Yeah. I brought some Vietnamese stuff also, so whatever.
What is this one though? What is,
That's the Kawara Kitsume.
say it again?
Kawara Kitsume.
Kawara Kitsune.
Kitsume. I'll show
Okay.
you the.
Okay, I'm into this.
It's weird.
Okay, so what we did is we thought, okay, it's impossible to do this tea and do it well, doing bottling it.
Was it incomplete extraction, or what was the issue?
It was incomplete extraction, even when I did like 2 weeks of extraction.
Okay,
So it's just like
not extracting.
it's just yeah. And when we were trying to see if we could kind of make something work with, we did some hot rinses too.
Right. So
This
hot
isn't-
break-
So I can't really call this cold brew, so I just call it black tea.
Correct.
It's pu'er.
So you hot brewed this guy
I did,
and then chilled.
but in a different way. What I did is, instead of just doing one hot extraction, I did like this wild, kind of blown up version of gong fu cha,
Okay.
where I took a 4-liter jar and a 500 milliliter mason jar brewer,
Yeah.
and I just filled the mason jar brewer with like 66 grams of pu'er.
Okay.
And then I broke it apart decently well, and I just did like 30-second, 45-second, 1 minute, and I did layered infusions.
Of course.
And then I kept on filling that 4-liter jar up until it was done.
That's
Ve-
labor intensive, man.
Very impossible to
Right.
scale this up,
Right.
but really interesting nonetheless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just like, it's kind of an interesting way to take like a really good tea that I can't make work in the cold brew system and make it taste good. Anyway, I think it tastes good.
Check it out.
Yeah, I want to see what you think. So what I want you to do, Cher, is that flash infusion. So I want you to take that juicy peach. I would love you to do 5 grams of it into your preheated brewer, and you can even put 5 grams into it first, and then you can pour some water on it for a rinse. And then you have that tea tray, I see.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so you can actually just
cup for brewing. Is that okay?
yeah, no, you can use that for brewing. That's perfect. So you can put 5 grams of tea into there.
Okay, I have this scale
Oh,
on.
That looks beautiful, man.
isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So 5 grams.
Looks rich.
Yeah, 5 grams, and then you're gonna do 100. Well, actually, you're just gonna do a rinse. So you're gonna take some boiling water, and you're just gonna cover the leaves, and then you're just gonna pour that water down into the tea stage there.
I even gonna have this thing. Oh, I should probably wet the matcha off of it.
That's more for matcha. Yeah, that's your
But
chashu.
it's nice for getting the tea out of the tin.
I believe it. Yeah, it's gonna help the process.
5 grams. Mom didn't want me to take the rest of the juicy peach, so I'm
Okay.
gonna replenish it.
Yeah, it's actually a Chilan, so a Phoenix Mountain cultivar grown in Wuyi Mountains, and the farmer decided he wanted to call it Juicy Peach, and I thought,
Whatever.
normally I just ignore that kind of thing, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
but I thought it was a pretty fun
Likes
name,
it, that's good.
and then so I called it Chilan Juicy Peach in kind of quotations, and
That's it?
it tastes like peaches, but it's not this one.
Tilan.
So we're
Right.
drinking a pu'er, and this is a 2006 ripe pu'er.
It looks like the
So
from Dr. Midnight.
from Dr. Midnight. It looks like it's from Dr. Midnight.
It looks like, although
Right.
Dr. Midnight usually prefers raw pu'er.
Right.
As
That's what we were drinking the other
Right,
day.
right.
It was like a 2015.
more into that, but
and he doesn't normally like the ripe stuff.
Usually not.
Yeah.
No, it's not his jam. But
no.
this
works,
Yeah,
right?
this one, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So
I like it.
Have either of you considered identifying yourselves as Dr. Noon?
Dr. Noon? That's
It's not. No.
no. You're not
Yeah.
gonna be what about
Not
Dr.
me.
What about Dr.
Morning.
Morning? Yeah.
No.
What about Mourning?
I think you have to really think about your D name. It's
Yeah.
just not.
Yeah. Is it, or is
I
it
think it's
is
not-
it is it something you can create yourself, or is it
You
a
get it
gift
given.
that you get it
I don't
given?
know. You should
Yeah.
ask the doctor.
You know
Yeah,
what? You could do
Yes.
Dr. Minute.
We
I
could
don't
ask the
know why.
doctor. Yeah, Dr. Minute. Yeah.
There's something about it. Like, I was going to say Dr. Minuit.
Minuit. Okay, we can do French. Is that you?
I don't know.
Like, it sounds like a commercial. Dr. Minute.
It's like
Dr.
rice
Minuit.
or
Yeah, I don't know.
something else.
Yeah.
Like Minute Rice.
Mhm.
Like, it's like a show featuring Dr. Midnight and Dr. Minute.
No, don't. Nah, names have to be
I like-
powerful, like Dr. Midnight or Truth and Dolphin or like something.
Yeah, no, this works. Yeah, no, this is good. I'm getting like, it's pretty good.
Camphor.
Yeah. So like,
Lots of it, guy. It's way more medicinal than I expected this guy,
were you?
which is nice.
Does it taste like a ripe puer to you? Like
It
so
tastes like a
does
ripe wort. It completely tastes like a ripe
Does
wort.
it taste like oxidized tea? That's my fear. I don't want it to taste like oxidized. You know, like when you hot brew something and it just like gets all like
Well,
destroyed.
you can't oxidize any more than this, man.
That's what I was thinking.
This guy's been oxidized
Like beyond
to
oxidized.
the extreme. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And fermented. It's very fermented, very oxidized.
Mm.
It tastes like it, but not in a bad way. It's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be like this.
I think this has merit, no? Like
Mhm.
there's like I think there's a way to do this at scale, but I don't know what it is yet. I just know that like one hot infusion does not do this. Whereas a layered infusion does. So
You know what's interesting? So, if you look at a lot of native folks, native like Tibetans and Mongolians and the likes,
Mhm.
they don't kung fu their tea.
No.
Their heicha, their brick tea, or sometimes their pu'er,
Yeah.
is batch brewed.
Right. Right. Just like basically all day, right?
Yeah, like you boil that guy.
Yeah. And which is arguably like, you know, they talk about these three kind of stages of tea, right? And one seems to be this boiled tea kind of idea. I think it's
Something like Tang Dynasty.
Yeah.
Well, not even because yeah, in a way.
I mean, and you
Without
still
the
see that.
grinding and
Yeah.
right.
Hojicha in like a lot of like kind of like old school Japanese diners can be just held on some charcoal in a teapot
Of
and just
course.
like cooked all day.
Yeah,
You know, so it's like this idea of keeping the tea going, or the samovar.
and it's not terrible.
The samovar is a good example too, right? Like
Exactly.
it's like this really intense tea that you then dilute if you like.
I think there has to be a way of making this work in a, because it should be a very forgiving tea. I think.
Yeah, I just haven't been. So I did. Yeah. So you're probably watching us. So if you share, if you put boiling water like about a 90 to 100 mils, or 90
I
to
do
100
95
grams.
degrees because here you can't go a lot higher, right?
Yeah, you want to keep it around there. So you want to do that, and then maybe like 30 seconds, and then pour it into the decanter, and even just do that 3 times before you drink it.
30 to 50 milliliters?
I want you to do like, why don't you do more like 80? Do 80 milliliters. 80
That's-
grams.
Okay.
Gonna extract.
Pretty good.
Yeah. That will extract a lot.
Yeah. So it's and then you give it
Oh,
about
that-
like 20 seconds, and then I want you to pour it into that decanter. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Just doing the. Well,
Counting.
she's
Yeah.
she's Dr. Minute.
Is
Right?
she-
Right?
Absolutely.
that can be your stage name. Okay.
20.
Yeah.
Sister speak.
It's-
Featuring Dr. Minute.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. And then
Well, I could just change outfits. It could be Sister Speak featuring Dr. Minute.
you just need a big clock, like a gangster clock. You know, like the hip hoppers wear in the 1990s.
Rock the clock.
Rock the clock. Rock the clock. Okay, now I want you to do this. So
Rock
you can take
out
a
with
little.
your clock.
Amazing. Okay. Now
Clock.
I'm glad that the audio is really clear there for that. That was appreciated there, Sherri Anne. Yeah. Okay. So you want to just do a very take a little sip of what you just extracted, and then I want you to do the same extraction again, and just add it, and you can see what just kind of a layered. So I had this idea that at cafes that are doing like I don't want to just always do the same thing forever and ever and ever, right? Like
No.
we've been doing this. How long have we been doing this? How long you been doing it? We
12
met
years.
way
Yeah.
back. So Dow Tea like before 05, right?
13 years.
Yeah, so it's been a long time, right? And I feel that I've been really encouraging cafes to do tea a certain way, but that encouragement hasn't really
Evolved. Understood.
and so what I'm on now is like I find that my inspiration that I've been really experiencing over the last few years, especially doing the tea festival, where I was able to very nice. I'm seeing the Dr. Midnight dance moves. This is good.
Nice.
This is happening.
Minute.
So
Minute.
yeah. So the tea festivals that were all online, I was having these guests from around the world and drinking tea with them, and everybody was making gongfucha, and everybody was making it in this very intuitive way. And I like weighing things, and I like timers, and I think I can combine those efforts, and I could do something that's kind of like gongfucha-like, that's still doing my
More precise.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But where is the pushback on that, especially in a cafe setting, is definitely in how small everything is to make it work, right? So it's these little, 1 gram for every 10 mils or 1 gram for every 20 mil extractions in these little tiny things. So
They wouldn't like you.
no, but they are flash infusions, and then it got me thinking about the pulse method for pour over coffee, and how there's this idea of just pour over, waiting, pour over, and there's this theater.
Right.
And so I'm working with some cafes to set up a tea stage, like it's just something like this, very old school, and you just have your gaiwan, and say you have your to-go cup, and you just
To
do
get
it,
your
and then you go do other things.
8 ounce or 10
Yeah.
ounce or whatever.
And
but
you fill it multiple times, and then you combine it into one finished to-go serving.
I hear you, man.
And then what I was really inspired by in Montreal when I visited Camellia Sinensis was them giving you a thermos of hot water and a tea stage and making the first go with you, and then
But then
explaining
you make your own.
after that. Yeah, and so just talking about that. And so it's still in development, but I think that'd be so cool.
There's
if you could
something-
go to
there's
a-
something there,
right?
yeah.
Like if you could go to a cafe and if you got a to-go beautiful oolong, and then you were able to, but then I was also thinking just this batch brew. Like if you had like a dedicated, I don't know, push pod, which is kind of ridiculous because it's sort of like the other side of this equation. Like, does anybody really want to do that? Is you could do something like this where you do these layered extractions that, in my opinion, are much better than just a really long single extraction.
They can be. I think for some teas they can be.
That's an important caveat. Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
for
if
some
we're-
teas that is true. Like
Right.
there's some teas that are amazing, cold brewed, long single extractions. Like we just did 2 different estate Darjeelings.
That works.
And it was freaking unreal.
Darjeeling,
Like so
Lion, right.
good as cold brew. And we did a shuelong, a green tea from Yunnan.
Yeah.
And that as a cold brew was fantastic.
But not this guy.
But
well,
not-
this guy is as different from coffee as it is from sencha.
Yeah, this is true. It's the same. I mean, for those watching, it's the same variety of tea, but it's a
Completely different process.
completely different process. So I often say the difference between a green tea and say an oolong is like the difference between a red wine and a white wine, but it's much. I
No
don't.
more.
It's much. Yeah, there's the only similarity there is that it's a process difference, but.
It's
Yeah.
like getting fried eggs and the whites on a cake. Like the
Yeah.
icing on the cake.
Right.
They're egg, but
Right, but it's
cooked different.
yeah.
And they use different
yeah.
parts and
Yeah.
they're completely different.
Fair. Yeah. No, this is actually a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this could be very interesting for some teas.
Yes. For
You could
some
make it work.
teas.
Yeah, this works.
This works well for this,
Beautiful, man.
right? Yeah. And
Did you pasteurize it?
I did.
This
So
is really amazing, by the
Isn't-
way.
isn't it good?
It's
So-
unbelievable.
like the juicy peach, and then trying it as a combined extraction too is interesting again, right? Like
Yeah, I tried each one, but I think that what's amazing is that each time it tastes toasted coconut.
toasted
Nice.
coconut, nice. Okay.
No peach.
No, where
You talk to that guy.
Yeah,
There's no peach, there's coconut
where's
in that guy.
where's the coconut? What I should do is I should
Peach in there too. Peach.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to
Coquille. Coconut and peach together.
Perfect.
Coquille.
Yeah, that's what we can. Hold on, I'm just gonna change the layout here for a second, and I'm gonna tile it,
Okay.
and then I'm going to go back to meet guest only.
You gonna bring
And
some?
yeah, why don't we have some of what she's having?
Yeah.
So this wasn't really in the cards, but
Let's do it.
yeah, some juicy peach.
Should we do a skit at some point where we like have like a tea counting from Dr. Midnight who looks like Dracula, you
Yeah.
know, or something?
Yeah,
And then you have Dr. Minute or Minuit, like in the shadows, just go, like we're doing the like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You can only see the silhouette.
yeah, we can make him like the little, like in a little square, you know.
I should ask Midnight if he would approve.
He would love it.
He would.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah, he'd be into it.
Should invite Midnight.
Yeah. Okay.
We can ask him at midnight. Yes.
Yeah. Right on time. I had a comment come in, just saying, watching from the Okanagan, pulse tea to go is a very interesting concept. Yeah, really, really interested in this idea. Okay.
I actually brew it a lot, like this multiple steep method, a lot at home like this because I do small, quick ones.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah, it makes sense, and especially like if you wanna, it's also very economical, because then you can, especially if you're like building a thermos of tea, for example, you don't have to.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I like to do if I have like a big like say jar that I'm trying to fill, sometimes I'll actually purposely make the extraction way too strong, and then I'll just dilute it after the fact to my preferred flavor. So I'll do like multiple infusions, make it extremely strong, and then do a post dilution for a big batch.
Which works for certain teas.
Which
Again.
works for some. Well, actually, it works for a lot of teas to do like at least a half or as much as a
bomb.
quarter
Yeah.
strength, like quarter, like powering like a quarter. When you go past like 1/4, I find it really challenging. But it is very tea dependent for sure. Yeah.
Peach and coconut flavor molecules are in the same category of compounds called lactones.
Ah,
okay.
dude.
So
Ooh.
that's
Perfect.
okay.
I got it from Dr. Fact.
Dr. Fact. Who's off to the side? Off to the side. Amazing. Yes.
That's a fact.
So the lactones in our tea, maybe. Are we-
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. So
It
I'm
sounds
gonna.
almost like German, like Dr. Fucked. That I did not.
Are we
You have
gonna?
to pronounce properly.
Yeah.
Very.
Sorry, no, it came out. I like.
Yeah. No, we'll get censored. We'll get censored. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean for it to even come close to come out like that. I just was actually.
It didn't come
trying
out.
to,
No,
like-
no. The
It was
microphone did its job. It was
Yeah.
perfect pronunciation.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
But
Okay,
with,
the pronunciation was good.
she does sound German.
Oh yeah. It sounded very German. People steal
love
that street
Germany.
sign all the time, or that city name sign. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna try what you're having.
Which tea?
with-
Same one.
Same one.
Coconut peach.
Ah.
Coconut peach surprise. This is the new direction of JagaSilk, Pedro. We're gonna do coconut peach surprise and
It keeps the lights on.
candy canes and rainbows.
And rainbows.
Yeah, candy canes and rainbows. That's the next kombucha, right, JB? Candy canes and rainbows.
It's gonna be a hit.
It's gonna be amazing. Okay.
It comes with your own personal clock.
Wow. just killing me today, Sherri.
I was talking about, like, it would actually be cool if you had, like, a
No,
timer that...
it's important that you're really enunciating the word clock. Yeah. Okay.
I definitely did.
It's important.
You
Okay.
did. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
I got
Great,
it.
great pronunciation.
I didn't understand
Okay.
everything.
There you go. So this is
You know, you're right on the coconut. It's absolutely coconut.
isn't it? Isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like peaches and coconuts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Well, not just coconut, like toasted coconut.
yeah.
Yeah. More so on the aroma than the flavor, though.
Okay.
The flavor's got
Is that the,
got
is that
some
the
malt.
first tea?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens the second and third.
Okay.
After you...
Are you gonna layer those guys, or?
That was my plan, but I kind of
Perfect.
messed it up already.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh.
we can layer. We can layer a few.
Layer
and we'll,
number
we'll,
2
we'll
and
see
3.
if we can find
Coconut
we'll
and
go
peaches.
coconut hunting. Yeah.
Unicorns and rainbows.
Unicorns and
You said coconut hunting?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. We're coconut and peach hunting.
And peach hunting, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be good. Okay. So So maybe just a smidgel of this second infusion for tasting comparison. I kept a little bit in my cup.
Oh, smidgel. Thank you.
Smidgel. And then we will.
Second one has definitely more coconut.
So
Let's see what happens
That's
with the
what I
layers.
said.
Yeah.
Part one, I was just spending a lot of time on this two-part series on just building that extraction, and for that puer, and I wasn't sure at the time if it would work out, but when I was done, I was pretty excited, and it tasted good. But then I pasteurized it,
Yeah.
and then I didn't try the pasteurized one until the musical tea series on the Saturday,
There you go.
and I was like, this is great. It was a little thin.
Okay.
But then Mew did a nice trick where she just treated it like a what are those ports? And she did like a
Decanting.
she just flipped it.
Or yeah.
Yeah. And then she didn't drop liquid all over the floor like I did, but
Which is Japanese.
yeah, she just doesn't make mistakes like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so try some of that.
Smidgel.
What's this
A
next up?
smidgel.
This is
This is a flipped puer. Okay.
Any difference? Any flipping difference?
I don't. Not in this guy. I don't know if you got too much of it, but I.
It'd be in the end. But I couldn't get it as aggressive of a flip as I needed to.
No.
I was already spilling on the floor.
But that's a good point. Actually, what happens if you put it through one of those devices that put some oxygen in wine? You know, like those siphons that. So
That'd be
what
interesting.
happens if you put some
That'd be fun.
air within this guy?
You know, we used to talk a lot about that when we first opened up the tea bar. We thought it'd be cool if we could make all of our teas where you kind of added like an aeration device on the end of the hot water tower to sort of like kind of contribute some interesting textures to the
I didn't get much
the
difference.
water?
I still get a really nice pour with lots of medicinal notes. It's a nice pour.
We have it. We actually have it purposefully broken up.
Mm-hmm.
So we busted up an entire cake and we aged it in our tea closet with a coffee filter over top of it in a clay pot, and we just like aged in Victoria for a year.
Yeah, it is aged in Victoria for a year, and it's very very rich in camphor. This guy,
Cool.
Rich in camphor?
camphor, like the aroma of camphor, the
Yeah.
old Chinese cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that guy in here.
Oh.
So this is another layered extraction. This is 3 of them.
This peach. Okay, let me
This is peach.
raise quickly my camphor intense snifter.
Your schnifter, a smidgel of schnifter.
That's also very German. Snifter.
A schnifter. Yeah. This is good.
Let me sniff some of peach coconut.
Coconut Beach. I had just had so much fun in Germany. It was really, really special.
Yeah, it's a great place.
You like it?
Yeah.
I went to Cologne once, and I
Yes,
got
you
to
did,
I
too.
got to sing on the stage with Sister Speak.
Oh, yeah?
She let me do a.
How long ago?
This was when was this? 2019?
Nice.
2018?
18.
18.
Nice.
Feels like not that long ago, but it's a long time ago now.
Well, it's
Close.
a lot of things happened since then.
Yeah, during with the pandemic, feels like 2 years just disappeared. So everything that happened in 2019 feels like it happened last year.
Flashed.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have a comment about that. I don't think it feels like it disappeared. I think it feels like it literally was transported into an alternate reality.
Yeah.
Because when I think about all the memories, there's so many of, and it's just that we weren't living life the way we're living it now, or even close to, like, now we're living it close to what we were before, but not the same still, but necessarily.
But like a
It's
different
like-
dimension.
Yeah, it's like we just went to a different dimension, and it was just all these different circumstances, and so like that time period. Actually, when I think of it as its own block, I was like, wow, that was actually a long time.
Yep.
But when I think about it in relation to everything else that was happening before and after, it feels like it didn't exist.
You speak truth.
Yeah. No, it does. It feels like a different dimension. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that yeah. So it's like we were hanging out in Germany like 2 years ago in the current dimension, but you add the pandemic dimension to it, and it was actually like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's literally like in the the pandemic. It's weird because we're still partially in both dimensions.
Yeah.
But just more in the, probably I don't know. It just depends what your situation is. But
Depends on your situation. For some it's done. For some it's an issue. There's a decent amount of coconut and peach.
Yeah.
In this one again, in the layers, almost like when you're biting into one of those coconut infused energy bars.
There was something about it that tasted fake to me at first. And
coconutty, like the coconut feels very.
But it's not though. Like when you really hang out with it, then this particular farmer is reputable enough that he's not going to do a bait and switch with me.
No, I don't think it's fake, but it smells almost like a bar soap, like the nice handmade bar soap that are very coconut intense. Like I don't in a nice way, not enough.
But I don't normally buy teas like this. Like this isn't something that would attract me. But for whatever reason, this year this one it grabbed my attention. I was like, this is actually
pretty decent. Yeah. And you know what? This guy iced would probably be
really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did the cold brew of the juicy peach in our pasteurizer, and it was actually another example of one that wasn't as awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. Well, you have to nail which ones work and which ones.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say most people that I share this tea with, it's like one of their favorite teas ever.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like the top pick.
I have another one. It's a floral lapsang souchong, and I normally also never buy a lapsang souchong because I hate the smoky flavor when it's really.
Oh, it can be not overpowering, man.
Yeah.
There are some xiaozhong that are not.
Well, this one doesn't have any smoky flavor, and it's just like super floral and super good.
It's just a leaf. It's just Yeah,
and that one I think is the better tea of the two, but I paid more for this one. Yeah. I'm not arguing. If I'm going to pay less for a tea that I prefer,
okay.
then I'm okay with that. But yeah,
interesting.
Isn't this an interesting thought though? This process of just layering extractions.
It is indeed.
Right.
Yeah.
And then turning it into because I think part of bar service is theater, and that there's an element of like with the pour overs that's really beautiful. There's they're not as consistent per se. If your like ultimate goal is just consistency, then this is not going to work.
You buy a machine.
But if you want a human being making your tea and you want it to taste good,
well, and you can also personalize it, right? Depending on if you happen to know your customers and you know whether they like more extracted, less extracted, you can tweak it.
Exactly.
So yeah, interesting. I like the concept.
It's cool, right?
Yeah. Totally.
And it works for some teas and not for others. So yeah, I know you needed to leave it at 3 shares. So is there anything that you wanted to say at the end here to just like in relation to this concept or in relation to the tea or anything else
or life
pandemics?
Yes,
Dimensions.
I have 3 things.
Dr. Minutes. Yeah.
I have 3 things to say.
Okay, good. That was dance. That's good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Prost. And kanpai.
Okay.
Nicely done. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for having me.
Shazam. Okay. And then for those who are watching that want to check out your music stuff, where do we send them?
You can want to check out sisterspeakmusic.com and our patreon.com/sisterspeak. We just finished that big tour. I am taking a break for about a few months. I had very mild COVID at the very end of the tour, but unfortunately I have some post-health stuff and I am directed to take it easy for a few months. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and I will be keeping in touch every second and fourth Thursday through Patreon. And our big touring will be more so 2023. So I'm looking forward to being on the show a little more and being in one place for a few months. So. Yeah.
Cheers. Well, I'm glad you're starting to feel better, and I know it was an epic tour, and you have a really awesome new album and all sorts of exciting stuff happening, and good to just also take a moment to chill and
autumn is beautiful over there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely gotta take care of the soul and the body. I'm stoked to have tea and kombucha. So.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's so lovely to see both of you today, and I can't wait to make it back into the shop when you're all there.
Well, it's going to be great. We will see you hopefully in the new year in the shop, is what I understand. So yeah,
that's the plan.
That's the plan. We'll see what happens. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, have a really good night, the rest of your day, and we'll reconnect next week or sooner.
Cheers from the Okanagan.
Wonderful.
Thank
Later.
you.
Bye.
Take care.
Peace and love. Bye.
Bye.
Prost.
Okay. So let me see. Look at that. This is my. This is me. Just yeah. So I guess. There's the camera.
That's perfect.
So just final thoughts for the puer. For me, those who are watching, I like the texture. This is often what's missing for me for the cold brews of this particular style is I'll get aromatics, but I won't get texture. I won't get like much of a syrupy quality.
It's thick, man.
Right?
It's very thick.
Yeah. So it's like it's got something going on that I think is often I just can't find that normally. Especially, and I think one of the reasons that I drink senchas, puers, and certain teas is one of the reasons I drink them is I really enjoy that texture.
I hear you.
Yeah. So,
yeah, this one definitely has texture.
yeah, so.
It's very it's rich.
Cool. All right.
Well,
Well,
spread it with some lamb chops or something, and what?
amazing. So before we go though, for those watching, what's anything new and exciting at O5T that people should know about?
What's new and exciting?
Mm-hmm.
A bunch. Among other things, should try some of the Vietnamese weird teas that we have.
Vietnamese weird teas?
Some are
Is that the genre?
Yeah,
Vietnamese
weird. I mean, they're different, man. They're it reminds me a lot of Yunnan in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So it's they're different. They're
I'm hearing some really good things.
There's
Like
some really interesting stuff happening in Vietnam.
a mutual acquaintance of a guy who worked for you, Jacob.
Jakub.
Jakub. He has some great connections to Vietnam that our brewer Jared Browning, who's at the bar right now, Dr. Fact, was exclaiming about. So yeah, I gotta try some of your.
Yeah, try some of that, man. And then we should. I'm gonna use this, ugly plastic bag.
Amazing.
Which should be one of the features
before we go. We should taste
for
some
the
of
tea
that.
festival. Yeah, well, it'll be featured at the Victoria Tea Festival revival.
Okay,
It's one of the things that we should be
Plugging? Yeah.
bugging.
Yeah, see
this
that?
This was supposed to be the last harvest ever made of this tea, because the folks are retiring. It's a company that's been in business for 107 years.
Oh wow.
And look at it's ugly packaging, but the tea is the opposite of ugly.
Wow, it's beautiful.
And
That's got some nice
there's
energy.
a chance that we may be able to partner with a Japanese friend and buy it.
And keep it from.
Keep it from oblivion and all that stuff. So there's a chance. We're looking into this.
Wow.
But we will be drinking some of it at the Victoria Tea Festival revival.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
See, it's got these it's tea. It's hojicha. It's hojicha bocha with a plant called Kawara Ketsume,
Okay.
or Kame Krista no Mame in Latin. And apparently the Showa Emperor loved it, and apparently these guys have been in business for 107 years. And they sell their tea mostly to monasteries all the way from Wakayama to Hokkaido. Like some big head monks drink this guy and they love it. It's actually pretty good.
Very nice tea. I mean, I was just saying, can I have a little bit more of it? Like you
Yeah.
were just brewing some out. Pedro was brewing this while we were trying to set up the show, and we were 30 minutes in technical.
And as
Insanity
Jared
land.
Pirani was saying, it's it's very much like corn snacks.
Corn. Was that you?
Corn.
Corn. We were tasting corn and we were tasting butter
very
and
much like corn
flakes
and like the fried corn
nuts
and the stuff that you get in BC Ferries.
and tea.
But yeah,
There's a little bit of tea in there too. It's actually quite lovely. It's got that kind of toasted barley flavor.
I think this one would probably not layer brew, because, but I don't know. But it
you're
would definitely
right.
batch brew.
You know, what I find is that the ones that do well with the layered brew are the ones that do well with the layered brew in a smaller sort of world, like the ones that have multiple infusions and are meant to be that way. Like a good tea from, like a good rock oolong is a great example.
Right, because it has different layers of aromatics that get extracted
at different times.
In this case, I think most of the aromatics come out at very similar times.
You can do like the teas where a second steep is possible, but not necessarily an
desirable
improvement on the first one. Those ones are, I think, way more ideal for cold extraction. I bet you this one would taste great as a cold tea.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it has so many branches. I don't know if we could actually extract it without some energy.
Surprised. I get some really nice rooibos, and rooibos is basically bark, and that is a cold extraction. It's really nice.
Fair enough.
So I think it's if you can shake it, and you can smell a bunch of aromatics popping off of it, it's probably
possible.
Yeah.
We should try it.
So I think we should. I think it'd be really, really interesting.
So first, let's rescue this company from oblivion. And
there you go. The Tea Festival Revival, it's the 7th year. And O5T is going to be there. For those watching, October 22nd, 11 to 5. You can tune in on the YouTube channel for the stream. It's going to be put together by, we actually have a gaming grant this year from the province of BC that's going to be getting us this really great videographer who's doing a great job with the building us some great videos and promotional materials. But as a result of that work, we'll have some fantastic streaming happening as well. So if you want to go and check out the International Tea Appreciation Society, victeafestrevival.org is the webpage. And we're going to have O5T, we're going to have Dr. Midnight with his Cloudwalker tea. We're going to have Puer to the People doing kintsugi and staple repair. We're going to have
Michael Lee. Yeah,
that's Michael Lee. And then we're going to have
Australians.
Kuura, Shinkinedo. Our neighbors, Uchida Eatery, are going to be making some food for folks to snack on at the festival. We're going to have Japanese tea ceremony demonstration, a Korean tea ceremony demonstration. We're going to have a live demonstration of masala chai from India,
nice.
By the Doak Estate. And then we're going to have a live conversation on transitioning tea farms to organic with Mr. Yamaguchi out of Ujitawara in Kyoto, Japan. We're going to have a conversation on sort of a release of Dr. Midnight wants to do the World Tea Competition.
Of course.
He's going to be releasing the rules and regs for that, and there'll be like a buy-in, and it'll be Gong Fu Cha, and anybody that wants to fight gets all the money at the end.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Should be
We'll
fun.
be a world champion.
Yeah. We'll be a world champion.
Nice. All in Victoria.
All in Victoria. Yeah, at the International Tea Appreciation.
Of course.
Why not?
I know.
Who else is doing
No,
it? Yeah. And then we have we also have Shinkinedo will be here too. They're doing some kuri kinton and some Japanese tea desserts. And we're gonna have Tea Can. They do a subscription service out of Vancouver, and they're gonna be here talking about what they are up to. And so you just pay attention though. You go view the speakers or the merchant tables on the webpage. You can check things out and come join us. Tickets are $10 to $20 sliding scale donation to the Tea Society, and proceeds go to pay for. Generally, we're trying to bring people in, like farmers. We can fly in from origin. That's one of the main goals of the society, so that we can have them talk at the festival in person. But we also have money going towards just keeping it functioning. So we're trying to get
alive.
Keep it alive, yeah.
Unlike other
But
programs that are not alive after COVID and all that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting. It's also just a great opportunity for people who love tea to get together and drink some tea together. So
Yeah.
We'll see you maybe October 22nd. We'll definitely see each other.
I'll be around.
Yeah, be around. So anyway, thank you for watching. You can check out again Pedro's stuff on o5t.com. That's correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. Letter O, number 5, DEA.com.
Not 05.
Not 05.
05.
Or over here at the festival.
You can
next
put
time.
an OH exclamation mark.
Yeah.
I mean, what
Could,
you,
that would
you,
that'd be,
you
yeah.
could
you know.
you could have done that. It's not that. It's an O letter O 5TEA.com. And you can
O
go
for
to
origin, 5 for the elements.
and the other place you can go is JagaSilk.com. And you can get some of our teas if you're so inclined.
Pronounced
Check out
JagaSilk.
JagaSilk,
But
yeah.
spelled JagaSilk.
Yeah, but or HagaSilk. Is that a
That would be in Spanish,
right?
That's what.
Yeah. So you can go check it out. So JagaSilk.com, and you can click on our loose tea section to try some of these teas we've been trying. We are matcha specialists, though, so there's quite a number of different matcha selections you can choose from. Single cultivars, single estates that should be
And
fun.
bottles, man.
All milled here. We don't have the bottles on
No.
our webpage yet. I know.
They're difficult to ship, I guess.
No, it'll happen. It'll
Yeah.
happen. It's a process.
Yeah, fair enough. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. But they will be coming soon. If you want a bottle of cold brew, though, you come down to JagaSilk and ask about them, and we'll see what we can do for you. We'll definitely, we have big plans to have them ready for the tea festival. So, see how it goes. Thank you for watching. Have a
Yeah.
wonderful day. See you later.